Hey, End Time Saints. Today is the 13th of September, 2022. I hope everybody is doing delightful and shining your delightful light in Yeshua's mighty name. Anyway, I just wanted to put out the dream I had at the end of last month that I actually had uploaded a couple days ago. But I ended up talking, about a lot of the stuff going on in my life and all that. And Father said to take it down and not disclose extra information about myself, that from now on, this channel is not going to be focused on being targeted, because that's part of our persecution. If you're chosen by the Most High God, you have to go through the fiery trial. And so I'm giving the enemy more time than I'm giving the Most High by speaking about all these things that go on. And yes, they're still going on, and they will continue to go on until we go home. But there's some amazing things that Father does as well. So this dream was probably one of the most of all the dreams I've had, and I've had prophetic dreams since I can remember, since I was a little girl. But this is one of my most favorite. So I'm going to retell it again. And what I did is I told it the other day from memory, but then I remembered that I had woke up from the dream a few weeks ago. It was actually on August 29th, 2022, which is also very significant for me, because that is the 17-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, and I lived in New Orleans. Now, I got out 10 days before because Father had warned me. He started warning me about things that were going to happen there for almost a full year before it finally went down. The same with 9/11. If it's something huge like that, he gives me warnings in advance. So be careful when you call someone a false prophet. And I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about other people that are warning, and it may be 3, 4, 5 years before something comes to pass. Now we're wrapping it up now, so it's coming to pass a lot quicker. But the gift of prophecy, sometimes you're expecting, okay, well, it didn't happen this month or this year. That's because it's prophetic. And when I started having the prophetic dreams about New Orleans being filled up like a bowl with water, I couldn't figure out what it meant at the time. Now, obviously, we know. But I started having the dream about a year before. And when I get repetitive dreams, the closer the thing that's about to happen is getting to take place, the more frequent I have the dreams. So like at first I had one once a month. And then the last 6 months I had it twice a month. And then the last few weeks it was every day. And then Father warned me to get out. I do have several people that I had warned also. And of course, most people did not believe me. Looney Lean is at it again. But the same with 9/11. I had multiple dreams, and what I kept seeing was the Statue of Liberty, and I couldn't put it together. But Father was warning me with the Statue of Liberty, meaning there's double meaning. One, had I just seen the buildings, the Twin Towers go down, I would have thought it was Houston, because that's where I lived for a while. And I'd never been to New York. And a lot of the skyscrapers look the same. But of course, I'm going to know where the Statue of Liberty is located. So I knew it had something to do with New York, but I still couldn't figure it out. And then, of course, once it happened, but it was a learning process. The other reason he showed me the Statue of Liberty is because it's taken away our liberties. Since then, nothing's been the same, right? And everybody lives in fear. And that's part of the scamdemic, to get people in fear so they submit and obey and go along like good little bad sheep. Bad sheep. Okay, so now you got a little breakdown of this. So this is my second dream in about, 4 months with Pegasus. This is not a normal thing that I would dream about, nor was I watching Greek mythology. However, after this dream, Father had me watch the, what is it called? Clash of the Titans. That's what it was. Thank you, Father. Maybe a few days after the dream, not before. I wasn't watching anything to put this in my mind about this very significant, I believe, important dream. So I'm going to share it with y'all now. And what I wanted to say is, when I came on a few days ago, I was just saying what I remember because it was so vivid. I'm not going to ever forget it. But then I realized, wow, when I was going back in to delete some of my videos so I could come on here and talk some more, I realized, wait a minute. I woke up. I was too tired to actually write the dream out because it was so long and vivid. So I talked into the microphone of my laptop. So I actually went and re-listened to the original dream, which I spoke about in the microphone of my laptop. And it was like probably 7 minutes long of me talking, and I would share it, but I had to turn it up as loud as it can and get right next to it. And it's kind of muddled because I was so tired. But I could understand what I was saying, but y'all might have a hard time hearing it. So anyway, I'm going to share it for y'all because I believe it has prophetic significance, especially since this is twice I've dreamt of Pegasus. So I had this on 8/29/2022, the 17th-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, in which I lived in New Orleans, but I did get out 10 days before. Yes, the place I was staying got 6 feet of water, but that's irrelevant. I got out, all right? So on the 29th of August, 2022, so just what, a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I woke up, it was 1:09 a.m. I was in the dream, I was realizing that the world was fake. I was looking across a sidewalk at buildings that were on either side of the sidewalk, and the buildings looked like skyscrapers. They were all gray with glass, real boring looking. They all looked the same. And when I looked at one of the buildings, I wanted it to be a lake. I wanted to go swimming, is what I'm thinking I was wanting to do. And when I looked at the building, it became a lake. Then I thought, well, if I look back at the building, because then I looked away, then it will go back to being a building, because there's not really a lake there. But I want the lake to be there. So I'm going to physically go over there where I saw the building become a lake, all right, and then make it into a lake. So like I realized I could create the lake. Then I realized that there was people around me that were evil, that did not want me to do that. They were gathered all around me, and it kind of reminded me of City of Angels, the old movie with Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage, where all the watchers are gathered around watching. That's kind of what it felt like to me. But they weren't good angels, okay? I don't know who they were. They were watchers, is what I'm made aware of. They didn't want me to do that. But when I went over there anyway, and when I went to step on the lake, it was still there. And I realized it was water. Then I turned around and I saw another lake that had been a sidewalk that I had just been sitting next to. Like, I guess I was sitting on a park bench or something. And I thought, I'm going to go step on that and see if it's still a lake, or will it be a building? Everyone around me, I was made aware that everyone around me thought what I was looking at, that I'm seeing a lake, they were seeing just ugly buildings. But I could see what I wanted to see, and it was a lake. As I walked back across the sidewalk, this not very nice man, I was made aware he was not a nice man, dressed in a construction worker, imagine that, construction worker outfit, complete with a lime green reflective vest, started pushing some yellowish lime green boxes of equipment. They were like on a cart, like a rolling cart. I don't know what was in it, but he was trying to block my path, and therefore he was rolling it across the sidewalk that I was about to step on, trying to block me so I couldn't jump into the lake. Go jump in the lake. All right. But I pushed by him. I didn't physically push him. It's like whoosh, like I made air move, and I could move past him. He looked mad back at me. He looked back at me with a mad look, okay? But I continued to go on, knowing he could not stop me. I then jumped into the lake, and I looked over the edge, and there was more lakes. Like, as I'm in the lake, I look over the edge of the lake, which is like a cliff almost, and there's more lakes all down in there. So I jumped again, thinking if I jumped into more lakes, it was like, to me, it reminds me of like when they show different dimensions and they'll have a door within a door within a door. That's what it was, but it was lakes. All right. And I was thinking if I jumped and it wasn't really a lake and was really just a building, like the ugly buildings I'd originally seen, then I was going to splat. And I was made aware that whoever was watching me, wanted me to think I was going to fall to my death. And people were looking all around, surrounding me, realizing that I was going to do it anyway. And I jumped, and it was another lake. I swam down in it and went way down into it. And when I got deeper down into the lake, I could see what I thought was something with horns, like Satan, swimming around. And there were people that looked like gods of Greek mythology. One came to mind was Pan. Pandemic, scamdemic, whatever. Pan, half man, half goat. The creature that I saw that looked like Satan, he had black horns, not red, they were black. And he had fur all over his face, maybe Baphomet, I don't know. And he looked like a man, but also a goat. And he had hooves. And he saw me and he tried to reach up with a creepy looking hand to grab me. I realized that I wasn't supposed to see them and be down there. But I also knew I was protected. There was like what I describe as a sea of glass that was over from where these creatures were, these evil creatures, and me. And it was protecting me, right? I realized I needed to swim back up. Oh, and by the way, I was swimming all around with no scuba gear or anything. I could breathe underwater. I've seen myself do this many times, including swimming in Atlantis. But anyway, getting back to the stream. When I swam back up, okay, I realized that they're trying to grab me, okay, but they couldn't get me, and I knew I was protected. And then when I got up further to the top of the water, I wasn't out yet, I could see Pegasus. And I knew Pegasus was my horse. If y'all don't know what Pegasus is, it's in Greek mythology, which I believe is actually real. I believe that these creatures do exist up there. And it's a white-winged horse, all right? And I saw Pegasus, and I knew it was my horse. And I said, Pegasus, it's me. It's me. I was so overjoyed, y'all. I'm crying every time I say this because it's like I miss that horse. Like, I know that's my horse. I don't know how to describe it. It's like this feeling will not go away. I've been thinking about this dream every day. Like, we're going to actually have these horses. So I said, Pegasus, is me. It's me. And Pegasus flew from some sort of a lake below me. In the original dream that I just said, I said Pegasus flew from above, but I went and re-listened because there was so many lakes, and in my video where I woke up out of the dream, I re-listened and I said from below me. So he's coming from some other lake. But because when you wake up and then you don't write stuff down, I thought maybe he was flying around and I was already out. No, I wasn't out of the water yet, okay? And he flew up below me. And he flew towards me. And then next I was scaling up this wall with vines and a beautiful garden. I'm reading this off my notes that I just took. There was a beautiful garden, and I'm thinking, is this the Garden of Eden I was seeing? There was all kinds of amazing flowers and colors that we don't see here. It's purples and pinks, and turquoise and gold and white and all kinds of like shimmery colors, like that you would see mother of pearl comes to mind, like just beautiful colors. And then I yelled for Pegasus again, Pegasus! And then Pegasus flew towards me, and right at that time, there was a huge wind that was trying to keep me and Pegasus apart. Okay, now it seemed like I was on the other side of the garden, so I'd scaled up this wall, which was like a cliff, kind of, on the edge of this garden. And I was trying to get up into the sky. And that's when Pegasus came to me, and I grabbed onto Pegasus' neck. That was very significant that I remember I didn't grab his mane. I didn't push myself up like you do a lot of times to get on a horse. There was no saddle or anything. I looped my arms around his neck, and he had a very powerful neck, so it wasn't going to hurt him. This was a huge horse, y'all. And I pulled myself up by his neck and got on. And he galloped, and then he took off in flight. And as we were flying, we were trying to move past this woman that was to the left, blocking this narrow door. Okay, it looked like a tall, skinny door, like an opening, but very skinny. And we were trying to get through that opening and then go up. And as we're about to go through the opening, this huge gust of wind blew directly in my right eye. I know what that signifies, y'all. And it blew Pegasus and me back. Like, this horse is huge, so this wind was powerful. And I realized I could not open my right eye, and it was shut for a minute. And then I willed it to open. I think I said open 3 times, and then I jumped away. All right. I believe that this is a very significant dream. Father led me to look up Pegasus, and a lot of different things came up. I will share that on another video, but the gist of it, that I did not know this. I did not know this, y'all. There is a constellation in the stars called Pegasus. I had this dream 3 weeks ago, August 29th, and it says the best time to see this constellation is the end of summer and autumn, which is what we're in. I believe we're going to be shown something in the stars. Remember, the Bible speaks that we will see signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Andromeda is connected to Pegasus, I found out, and there is a blue star. Yes, that's right, y'all that have been watching this channel. There is a blue star that is the main star in the constellation Pegasus. So I'm going to come back on here. I have another dream to share, y'all. I'm going to try to stick to just certain topics, so it's easier to find if you're going back to try to find something I've been shown. That's how I'm going to try to stick to the topics. Also, if my channel gets taken down, I will come back on as Jubilina Redeemed 2. Unless Father gives me another one. That's just the first thing that came to mind the other day. Because I already had 2 strikes for giving medical information. What was I talking about? The Visax. That's all I was doing. And I was banned for 2 weeks. Banned down by the river. So in case they do something. Also, if any of y'all know how to upload all the videos that I've made onto CDs or how to save them for me, I would pay somebody to do that. It's all I have, especially like of my little dog that passed, is these videos, and they've already taken 3 of them down. Actually 4, but the first one of them was a couple years ago. So it would mean a lot to me if somebody knew how to do that and they could do that for me and put them on CDs, or at least help me know how to get them onto my laptop. The laptop I have now, I know won't be able to store it because I have to keep deleting just the videos that I've made over the last 5 months. I've only had this laptop about 5 months, and it's hanging by a thread, literally, y'all. If y'all saw this thing, where they came in the room that I had rented and broke it, I cannot believe it's still working. I know. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, our Father who sits on the throne. His righteous judgment is on. But I'm going to come back on. As soon as this uploads, you'll see another video of a dream I had just yesterday on the 12th. And this has to do with Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. And I haven't found out the meaning of it yet. I have a feeling about a few things, but I know Father will show me. Sometimes he just gives me little pieces of information, and then all of a sudden, bam, and then I'll get the download. But anyway, the fact that there is a constellation called Pegasus, I did not know this, is amazing. The fact that it's in the time period, because it's the end of summer and autumn is when you can see this constellation. And the main star is blue, which I've told y'all some of us are connected to the blue star, the star of it's Jesus' star. They call it the Star of Bethlehem. Is just amazing. The blue Katrina, the Hopi Indian prophecy, all these things are connected. By the way, there has been severe flooding in several states and earthquakes, including an earthquake reported last night by Atlanta, Georgia, and some other areas which never get earthquakes and don't see flooding. And we know about the fires and all that kind of thing. These are signs that the end is near. Look up. Our redemption draws nigh.